Did you know that 30% of people on dating apps are already in relationships? That's right. Some of those available singles are just swiping for fun. Look, if you're tired of ghosting, breadcrumbing, and accidentally matching with your ex, you're not alone. Stick around as we dive into the dark side of dating apps and share real-life horror stories, plus a few solid ideas for meeting someone the old-school way. Trust me, it's not all doom and gloom. There's still hope out there beyond the swipe. Welcome to Marisa in the World. I'm Marisa, and today we're talking about something we've all secretly wondered. Are dating apps ruining our love lives? Spoiler alert, they just might be. But no worries. By the end of this video, you'll know why ditching the apps could be the best thing you'll ever do. And I'll even throw in a few tips on how to meet someone naturally without awkwardly DMing, "Hey, you up?" Number 1, ghosting and the mental exhaustion of endless swiping. Here's a real story. Lisa thought she had finally found the one. She matched with a guy named Jake who sent her good morning text every day and even talked about planning a weekend getaway. But just when things seemed promising, poof, Jake vanished. No explanation, no goodbye. Lisa later found out that Jake had updated his profile with "looking for something new," and she wasn't the only woman he had ghosted. This roller coaster is familiar to many. According to research, more than 80% of online daters experience ghosting, leaving people emotionally drained and second-guessing themselves. So how to avoid burnout from ghosting? Don't invest too early. Keep expectations realistic until you've met in person. Also, rotate matches wisely. Keep options open without spreading yourself thin. And remember, ghosting says more about the ghoster than it does about you. Tip number 2, the problem with too many options, analysis paralysis. Another real story is Mark swiped right on hundreds of profiles, hoping one would stand out. But every time he matched, a nagging thought crept in. What if the next person is better? This loop went on for weeks until Mark realized that, despite all the swiping, he had never gone on a single date. "It's like online shopping for humans," Mark said. "But instead of making a purchase, I just kept browsing." This is a common problem. A 2019 study found that 54% of dating app users never meet their matches in person due to indecisiveness. So how do we avoid analysis paralysis? Set a match limit. Only swipe on a manageable number of profiles. Make a decision fast. If someone seems interesting, suggest meeting within the first few days of chatting. Treat dating apps like appetizers. The real goal is to meet in person. The app is just the introduction. Tip number 3, fake profiles and inauthentic connections. Jen met a guy named Ryan online, and everything seemed perfect. They had great chats, shared interests, and even video called. Except he would always have an excuse to blur his screen or avoid showing his face. When Jen finally suggested meeting, Ryan claimed he was suddenly moving to Europe. Suspicious, Jen reverse searched his photos and discovered they belonged to a stock image model. The Ryan she knew? Completely fake. Unfortunately, stories like this are all too common. Research indicates that 45% of online daters lie about at least one aspect of their profile, and fake accounts remain a constant problem on dating apps. How to spot and avoid fake profiles? Do a reverse image search. Use tools like Google to check if photos are genuine. Insist on video chats early. If they refuse, they're likely hiding something. Ask thoughtful questions. If their answers feel rehearsed, it might not be the real them. If this video is making you rethink your dating strategy, hit subscribe to Marisa in the World. My channel offers real-life advice on relationships, self-improvement, and more. Don't miss out on future content. Let's discuss number 4, lack of accountability. Easy to ghost, hard to commit. Samantha had been chatting with Dan for 2 weeks, and they even set a date to meet. But 15 minutes before their date, Dan texted, "Something came up. Can we reschedule?" Samantha agreed, but then Dan canceled again at the last minute, this time with no apology. After the third no-show, Samantha blocked him. "The worst part is, he didn't even seem to feel bad about it," she said. With no real accountability on dating apps, it's easy for people to treat others poorly without consequence. More than 50% of app users admit to canceling dates last minute, leaving people hurt and discouraged. So how to handle flaky behavior? Enforce your boundaries. If someone flakes twice, let them go. Respect yourself. Value your time enough to avoid waiting on unreliable people. Meet in person quickly. Set a date early so it's harder for them to back out without guilt. Okay, it's time for your bonus tip. How to meet someone naturally without apps. Dating apps aren't the only way to find love. Many people meet in unexpected places. Let me share 2 real-life meet-cute stories. The first one is Beth met her husband at a coffee shop. She was struggling to choose between lattes, and he jokingly suggested, "Why not get both?" They started chatting, exchanged numbers, and the rest is history. Second, Mike met his girlfriend at a charity run. They ended up running at the same pace, started talking during the run, and realized they had a lot in common. "The best part," Mike said, "is that we met doing something we both love." Here are ideas for meeting someone naturally. Join clubs or events. From hiking groups to pottery classes, shared interests make for great conversation starters. Attend meetups or social gatherings. Networking events or book clubs are great for making meaningful connections. Volunteer for a cause. Helping others is a fantastic way to meet people with similar values. And there's more. Here are some conversation starters for natural meetings. Let's say you're in class. Say, "This is my first time trying this. Any advice for a newbie?" Or you're at a coffee shop. You could say, "I can't decide. What's your go-to drink here?" Maybe during a charity event, you could say, "I love how events like these bring people together. What made you sign up?" Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Now that you know the pitfalls of dating apps and have some fresh ways to meet people, please take a moment to subscribe and watch my next video on 6 questions to avoid heartbreak. It's packed with tips to help you navigate relationships confidently. See you in the next video.